Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Asian Report. So the Elliott wave count for the ASX 200, we're looking at our daily chart with wave 3 over here, an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave down here for wave 4. And then we're looking for a move to the upside here for wave 5. Now, as I've mentioned before, we need to put all the counts on the table. So the next count would be these 5 waves that are coming down through here. They could make wave 1 here. And then if that's the case, then there would be an A and a B and a C here back for wave 2. And then we would go down from that point there. So we need to be mindful of that, and we need to prepare for that when it comes. So that's really where we are at the moment. So we were talking about wave 4 being completed on Friday morning, but it's just sort of hanging there. So let's just go in and have a look at the situation. So on the 4-hour chart, it looks a little bit like this here. So we've got wave 1 here, wave 2 here, and then we're looking down at wave 3 here. And we do have a nice clean 5-wave structure down here for wave 3. And we would look for wave 4 to pull back to the 38.2% retracement level. So we're basically there with this here at the moment. So I did have wave 4 sitting here, and we had this little pattern here which wasn't really giving us let's just go into the hourly chart and talk about this. So there was a couple of things here. First of all, we had wave 4 in here, and then we had this pattern here, which is basically 3 waves being corrective. So we decided that taking this low out here if this retests here and then comes down, then we'd be short on that side. So first of all, we had this 3-wave pattern here, and then over here in this section, the A wave here is fine. That's got a nice 5-wave structure here, so that's perfect. And then I was looking for the B wave here, and this is where it got a little bit confusing, big for me anyway, because I had 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for this, as you can see with these 5-wave structure here, but then I also had this extra wave here. So it looks like those waves will be coming into play, and then so we had 1 and A, B, C for 2. So this would make all of the 3rd wave, and then we'd have an A, B, C for the 4th, and then up for the 5th here. So I need to remove these here now and place this here and remove that. We don't need that. That wave 4, we'll put this wave 4 here, so it's just a bit clearer, and this one over here. So the thing is now, though, is that when we've got an ABC correction here, we'd expect the top to be taken out here. And has it? I mean, it's pretty spot on close here. I have to check on the cash market. So it's possible to have this 5 waves here. So what I want to talk about is strategy here. So the short trade can just pretty much stay the same as it is. So we'll look to take that low out here. You could bring that up higher as well. So let's just imagine for a moment that this consolidation that we're looking at here, sitting on that support, breaks through and then comes back here. Then you can move this here, this line over to here, a little bit tighter in there, and then if it breaks down, then you can get a better entry there. But if this market is, if I'm wrong, we have to look at that. If the 5 waves that we're looking at here going to the upside is not completed yet, it does appear that we've got 5 waves here. But if we do move up from here, but then we'll need to go long from that point. Okay, so we're just covering both things here, and it's not that silly, you know. We know that the market's dancing across this number here, the 5-9, and we have to ask ourselves, you know, being an analyst is one thing and being a trader is another. An analyst can get it wrong his fair share of the time, as we all know. But for trading and trading signals, they can be a little bit different, and it's a slightly sort of different game. So this is really quite a nice setup here for a long trade, isn't it? I mean, the market has got support here, and then if we take out these two highs here, that, well, especially we'll use this one first, but now we can bring it down to this one. So that's a really good long trade setup, even though the analysis can be wrong here. Okay, so we need to trade what we see, and if we see a setup on support, then we need to take that. It's as simple as that. So as a trader, as an analyst, we're looking for wave 4, and we're looking for wave 5 to move lower here. Yeah, so anyway, look, that's pretty much the situation there, and there's nothing really I can add to that at this stage. So I want to move on to China and Hong Kong, and it's not a lot of change here as well. We're looking for, well, we talked about the bigger picture in the last video from this wave B here, how we got that. And moving down here, we would be looking at 1 and 2 here, and then there's a nice 5 waves here, and then for 2, and then there's a nice 5 waves here for 3, and an A and B and C for 4 here. So then we're looking for wave 5 of 3 here, and then we'll look for 4 here, and then we'll look for 5 down through to here. So it's possible that this could be an A wave and a B wave and 5 waves down here for a C wave, and we're finished here. But I don't think that's the case, even though we'll see a rally here. So we're quite close to having this wave 5 low in, but I just think there's one more little move down here. If I just go to the 4-hour chart here. We've come low enough, really, for a 5th wave. But when I count down here, if I count this as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, well, that's 5 waves, isn't it? So 1 and 2. And then it'll be logic to count this as 1 and 2 here, and then 3 here. An A and a B and a C for 4 here. It comes up rather high here. And then we've got 5 waves down here for wave 3. So I'm considering this being wave 4 here, but it looks quite bullish, and it looks like it really wants to move higher from this particular point here. So yeah, maybe this 4th wave here is going to get even more complicated, because we don't really, when we've got 3 waves here, it means that we've got an A and a B and a C wave here. So realistically, we could have this as a C wave here as part of a more complex correction in amongst all this. But first of all, I just want to see how this pans out. There's no way I'm going to go long unless we've got some nice support up here. So I just want this to play out. So all things being equal, if we see some sort of move back into this space here, and then we'll see our A and a B and C. So it's pretty sort of complex here for a while. But yeah, I don't think I've missed anything here in this structure, even though it's this wave 4 is rather big, but we'll see. Let's just keep an eye on that. And we know that Hong Kong is bouncing on some solid support levels here. So when I say solid support levels, I'm talking 25,000 here for this, which is a medium level, halfway between 30,000 and 20,000. So it will be significant. It will play its part within all of this. But in a nutshell, we have the same count here as well. So wave 1 and 2 here, and 1 and 2, and then all the way down for 3 and 4 here, and down for 5 here, then back for 4. That 4 could probably move a little bit higher into this space to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree, or we could look at the 38.2% retracement level, which from that high to, let's just take the 25,000 at the moment. So it's a tad lower here. But anyway, we'll get to that when we get to that. We'll be looking at the actual structure. So this move down through here, we've been looking at here, and with the Chinese market, the wave 4 bounced a little bit high. So in here, I could move that in here now. There's a nice little 5 waves in this structure, a nice little ABC here. So this counts all quite nicely as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for 1 and 2, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Even the third wave, I mean, the third wave has definitely got some nice definition in here. The trouble with Elliott and big numbers, it can tend to skew the wave count a little bit. It can squash it or make it extend out. That's what big numbers do. It's just the way that we think about numbers. So in this case here, it looks kind of impulsive up there. So I think that we'd be looking for an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave into this space, coming back into this space here. But once again, yeah, no, that would be about right. And then looking for wave 5 down through here. So this will probably be quite short, because wave 5, I mean, wave 1 was quite long and elegant. And even though this has got bones here for wave 3 here, it's still rather short because of this number here. It's sort of squashing it up a little bit. So the market's not going to let go of this number when it comes down to here as well. So the thing is here, we need to be looking for 5 waves here. That's all we need. And it could be something like that, and then we go up here. But the dance here on this low has not completed yet. Moving on to Japan, the Nikkei here. So let me just think about this for a second. I've probably gone over this a little bit. So in this one here, I can look at this as wave 1 here, ABC for wave 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So I should probably take that up a level at this stage, but the count is right. So 1 here and then 2 here, and then the third wave dropping into here, and the fourth wave back here. And then each of these moves down here. It's like an ending diagonal triangle, because this has got 3 waves in it, this move. This has got 3. This one here's got 3 in it. And then this one here's got 3. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you could look at it as a ending diagonal triangle coming into this space. So that means that we'll have sets of 3 waves coming in here. But let me just have a look of what I've done on the 4-hour chart. I get slightly confused here. Now again, it's just a different count here for this, so it's not quite right either. That's all right. Let me just go to the bigger picture. I've lost the plot here a little bit. Okay, so yeah, okay, I'll see what I've done now. So, I mean, for an expanded flat to exist here, I mean, this is definitely in 3 waves here. There's no way we can get 5 waves up here. So it has to be an A and a B and a C here. So this has to be the A wave. This has to be the B wave. And then we could get 5 waves down to here, and then we could just push straight up from there. But with an expanded flat, the distance it takes out the top here is normally the distance it takes out the low down here. So we're still wanting to see it down here further. So so looking at this here as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 into this space, and then back up into here is about right. So this is more in line with the US markets actually. So just coming back in here, I just want to check what I've done here. So yeah, look, this is right here. So sorry about that. It's hard to keep all these charts in my head all the time, but normally I'm quite good with it. I'm not that old and senile just yet. Still looking for a move lower here into this, but we can expect a bounce off this. I'll just go in now into these other charts here. Okay, this is just an alternative count. Let me just go into the tick chart here to see what I've done here, if anything. Nope. I thought I did more work on this one. Sorry about that. Okay, so what I want to talk about here in this space here is that If I go 1 and 2 here, and then all this would be the third wave, this is sort of corrective here for this, so this would be here. So really this move here is appears to be in 5 waves. And the thing with this move here, as you can see, we've got a strong move here, but we've got wave 1 here, wave 2 here, and then this move down through here can be, part of that wave 3 here, but this leaves wave 4 back up at a 61.8% retracement level. So we need to be mindful that this is not a simple A wave, a B wave, and a C wave over here for wave 2. I mean, before I had it over here based on this high here, but because that's moved up to the 61.8%, I've reinvestigated this here, and it fits okay as an A wave here, a B wave here, and then moving up. I suppose we could look at it in terms of from here we could go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 down for 1 and back for 2, and then down for 3 and back for 4 here, and then down for 5. It doesn't really have the right look, but if that's the case, then we could look at this here as wave 1 here and wave 2 here. What I also want to talk about here as well is that the move up here is in 3 waves so far, right? So it would be in 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So it can count as an A and a B, and then 5 waves up here for the C wave here. Now, the other point here is that it can count as 1 and 2, and then those 3 waves here is the third wave, and then it would pull back to the 4th wave of 1 lesser degree, and then move up here. So if it's going to move up here, it's not going to go far, but then what that would make, it would make this here an A wave, a B wave, and then a C wave into this space here, and then it would collapse from that point. Okay, so what we need to work out, we really want to see this market move down into this space. Then that would really help, or certainly overlapping this top here, then that would confirm it. So at the moment, this move up here can be 1, 2, 3, back to 4 here, and then up for 5 here to have wave C here. If it breaks straight through here, then we know that it's corrective here, and then that means that I've made a mistake in here again, and that means that that would be over here on top of that high where I originally had it, and then this move down here would be wave 1 here, so I'll just blank that out here. It's just kind of good to understand both wave counts and where they will be breached and broken and breaking down and so on, or maintaining their position, so to speak. So that little wave 4 there is critical. So I'll just leave it with that. So yeah, so if it does move down through here, then you know that it's going to be moving much further down from that point there, okay? So it'll be moving, it will make its way lower from that point, because this would be wave 1 over here. And this would be wave 2. And somehow we've got to get wave 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 in here, and then 5, which, I mean, I can see it working, but it's kind of like forcing it to fit, and I know that doing that in Elliott is not the right thing. It means that if you're going to force something to fit, then you need to go back and rethink of where you've gone wrong. So yeah, let's just have a look at where this ends up in this particular space here, see if we get that new high or not. So I'll just save that, and also the Nifty. So over to India. So with India here, it's different from it's the same as the Nikkei, because we've got wave 3 here, an A wave here, and a B wave up here. But in this case here, we've moved back down a long way already, you know, so the Nikkei is still up here somewhere, where these markets are much lower here. So it's probably right to count this in this particular way here. So yeah, in this case here, we're kind of getting closer to being finished. This is more like Australian market. So 5 waves down from B to C here in terms of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. And within that, we can go into the 4-hour chart. So with the 4-hour chart here, from the top here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 and back for 2. And then I probably rearranged this a little bit. I've spent some time on this morning. So I've gone over every little single wave. So wave 1 and wave 2 here, then wave 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So I'm calling this wave 1 and this wave 2, and then 5 waves down here for wave 3, and wave 4 here, and then wave 5 here. So wave 5 is a little bit small, but I know these sorts of things occur around, things get squashed up around large numbers here, and then wave 4 back here where we had it. So this wave 4 roughly from there, that high to this low here, get that in there, that gives us our 38.2% retracement level, and remove that. So I'm thinking that this is down for 1 here, we need to come back for 2, and then 3, 4, 5 coming down to finish into this lower into here anyway, but we'll look at that. So on the picking this up here from the hourly chart here, let's just move this in here. So wave 3, wave 4, wave 5. What bothers me a little bit about this is the move up here really can be counted as 5 waves. So wave 1, an A and a B and a C for wave 2, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for the 3rd wave, back for the 4th wave here, and then up for the that must be the 3rd to that point. Okay, got an extra little wave in here as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe I just got to check that. But at first, what bothers me here a little bit is that it appears to be 5 waves up here. I mean, I could have looked for this as the A, the B, and the C wave here, but this here has got 5 waves in it. So, I mean, maybe this is the A, the B, and the C, so an A wave here, a B wave here, and a C wave up here, but yeah, I don't think so. The other thing too is pulling this apart down through here, it appears that we've got 5 waves here, so we'll have a look at it on the tick chart, but 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So then an A wave and a B wave and a C wave that can come back to the 10,500 area. May not reach that high because normally wave A and wave C have got some sort of correlation in them, but I think this is down for 1, A, B, C, back for 2, and then down for that way. So I'm just going to go into the tick chart here, pick up that. So I'll need to get a bit more data in here. So, yeah, so from this top here, I've got 1 and 2 here, and then 5 waves down for wave 3 and 4 and 5 here. So it does appear we've got 5 waves down here, and then we've got the A wave here, and then it looks like we've got an A and a B and a C wave here. So that should be finished now. Let me just 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the 3rd wave, 4th wave, and the 5th wave. So we should be quite close to the low here, either this one, or maybe even one more little low down. But the thing here is that this move from here to here is corrective. So it's not an impulse wave. So it means that really all of this here will be corrective. So I think that I'm on the right track. So with this market here, it's possible to, I can't draw on this side of the tick chart, but the length of wave A here is basically what we can look for over here. Okay, so it doesn't have to come back up to the 10,500. It just needs 5 waves like this here, over here, roughly the same length. So it may only come up to the 4th wave of 1 lesser degree, this 4th wave here. But in this space here, I have to put the 50 and the 61.8% there because of its wave 2 there. But we could see a rally here first. So just keep that in mind. Alrighty, that's it. So thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. Cheers.